Tough year for the Panthers, who lost again to secure the league's worst record to pour more cold water on Carolina. They won't even get the #1 overall pick. That's going to go to Chicago after last season's trade that allowed the Panthers to draft Bryce Young. Big decision to make for the Bears, who have a talented quarterback in Justin Fields, but just still have not found a great team success with him. Okay, I think I'm going to start with you, Dan, which I rarely do. With Justin Fields playing well in recent weeks, what should the Bears do with that #1 pick?
Think long and hard. I honestly don't know right now what side I would take. And that is ridiculous because at the beginning of the year, it was like, hey, Chicago's going to take a quarterback next year, certainly after the first month of the season because of the way that Justin kind of started this year. And now that Justin has played so well, and honestly, the team has played good football. They play Green Bay this weekend. Don't be surprised if Chicago wins that game. I don't know. If we look at the teams that have taken young quarterbacks, not every one, but have taken a young quarterback, it's been those teams that really had a good, healthy, solid roster and then went and got the guy. Baltimore went up to go get Lamar. The Buffalo Bills went up to go get Josh Allen. And Kansas City Chiefs went up to go get Patrick Mahomes after they had a really good roster. I think Chicago is close right now to having a much improved roster. The biggest crux of all this is, historically, guys, we don't see #1 picks, quarterback-wise, just flip bad franchises, teams that have been bad for a while. I think the only guys that unequivocally did that were Joe Burrow has done that in Cincinnati. Cam did it for a year or two in Carolina, but that's about it that have absolutely flipped them. And probably the most important part of this conversation is, what are you going to get from either situation? Do the Atlanta Falcons come to you and say, we'll give you a first-round pick for Justin Fields? Then you start to think about moving off from him a little bit more intensely. Or do the New York Giants or the New England Patriots say, we'll give you 3 first-round picks to switch and take the #1 overall pick? Then again, that becomes a little bit more, we're going to keep Justin Fields and take those picks. So this is not a foregone conclusion of the Chicago Bears are taking a quarterback at 1.
My thing is, and we've seen Justin Fields has flashes, and when he has flashes, the guy can throw for 250 and run for 150. But do you have confidence that the Bears can surround him? You mentioned that these young #1 quarterbacks coming out, and you look at what the Indy did with Peyton Manning. Now, they already had Marvin Harrison. They already had Marshall Faulk. They move on from Marshall Faulk, and they draft Edgerrin James. They draft Reggie Wayne. They draft Dallas Clark. And you see what they did. So do you have Ryan Poles, the general manager of Chicago, do you believe that he can surround Justin Fields with the right pieces in order to make them a championship contending team? That's the question. 10-27, 40 touchdowns, 30 interceptions. And I understand that you're going to have to start over again. But, Dale, you do realize it's going to take you $200+ million to re-sign Justin Fields. He's getting up off that rookie contract.
Shannon, let me hit you with this, though. Let me hit you with this, because I get your point, and I know Stephen A's got to get in here. But I do think in so many conversations around the NFL, we've lost sight of it's not the most important thing to just reset the financial timeline in your organization at the quarterback spot. The most important thing is to get a really good one. And so often we say, well, just reset the Jets did that. They move on from Sam Darnold and they draft Zach Wilson. How'd that work out for them? So I think that sometimes it's like, well, just reset the financial market. That's not the only way or the best way.
Dan, it might be hard for you to do, but I need a quick answer to this question. Just try. Caleb Williams, what do they say about him? What do you think about him really quickly?
He's more talented than Justin come out of college. He's a combination, just talent, skill-wise, of Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, and Lamar. He's an unbelievable physical talent on the field.
Okay, that's all I need to know. Then you have to move on. You have to move on. See how simple that is? Because let me explain, Dan. Let me explain. So we know about the 10-27 record with Justin Fields, right? We know about the 10-27 record as a starter, which, by the way, is not entirely his fault, right, because of the pieces that you put around him. Let's also remember Ryan Poles, who you just brought up. He came in after they grabbed Justin Fields.
Correct.
He didn't have the job when, you know, that wasn't his selection.
Right.
So we got to take that into consideration, all right? Now we've got that going on. So let's look at it. These are career highs for Justin Fields. 5-7 record, 61 completion percentage, 201 pass yards per game, 16 touchdowns, 9 interception ratio, 85.8 passer rating. These are career highs. Let's also remember that when he completes the first 3 quarters, 64% of his passes completed. In the fourth quarter, and 13 touchdowns and just 3 interceptions, first 3 quarters this season, right? In closing games. Fourth quarter this season, 52%, 3 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. Let me throw this other stat, a couple of other things that you might want to hear about this. 38 qualified quarterbacks. He's last in the league among 31 qualified quarterbacks, in average time per pass. Last among the 38 qualified quarterbacks in that metric. 37 career starts, has surpassed 225 passing yards just 6 times. Just 6 times. At some point in time.
You got to add the rushing yards in.
Okay, I understand it because we know he can run with the football. We get that. We get that he's a dual threat, okay? This is what I want to read. Last among 38 qualified quarterbacks in fourth quarter interceptions with 16. 36th in completion percentage at 56.2%. 33rd in QBR. And what do they say about him? He holds on to the ball too long, not necessarily seeing the coverage, not going through his progressions quick enough, et cetera, et cetera. This is what they say about him. I'm not telling you the brother doesn't have a future in the National Football League. I'm not telling you he can't be a starter. I'm saying if you're the Chicago Bears, a franchise whose best quarterback in the modern era was Jim McMahon from 1985, okay? In case you can't do the math, then that's nearly 40 years. I'm sorry. If I got an opportunity, if I look at a guy like a Caleb Williams, who is a clear-cut superior talent at the quarterback position, and I have the #1 overall pick, and I have had historically a problem finding a big-time quarterback, and everybody and their grandmama is telling me this brother's going to be big-time, I'm sorry. I got to move on rather than do what Shannon says. Invest in a guy who's developing, who's getting better, who has potential, who can run with the football, but it's going to cost me $200 million. And, oh, by the way, I'm not sure what he's going to be capable of doing when it really, really counts.
Okay, so
I can't stay with him.
Couple pushbacks on that. One, I do not think it's a done deal that Caleb Williams is going to go #1 overall, no matter who picks. Drake May from North Carolina absolutely is going to have a part of that conversation.
From Carolina?
But yeah. We have to stop
Mr.
saying
Trubisky
that.
would make me hesitant about anybody coming out of Carolina, but go ahead.
He's a freak. Don't think he just went to Carolina. He went to Carolina because his family, not because he didn't have offers from everybody in the country.
I'm just talking about the potential of being contaminated. That's all I'm talking about. It's contamination, Shannon. Contamination.
You got to stop saying, we got to stop saying that, like, if they choose to keep Justin and pass from the quarterback, it's automatic $200+ million for Justin Fields.
Dan, you think that, hold on, you think this guy, you think his agent is going to let him take less than $40 million a year when the going rate is 45
when
to
Daniel
50?
Jones got $40 million.
Come on, Dio.
Okay, guys, this is my point. Jordan Love, what they have to do is pick up the 5th-year option. That's the only thing that they have to do. Like Green Bay did with Jordan Love, but they restructured it or rechanged the finances. So you don't have to pay Justin $200+ million if you decide to pass that first pick. Stephen A., my point is this. If a team like, again, even like let's say Washington, I think he sits at 2 right now, goes, we have to go get Caleb Williams. He's from Maryland, and they say, we're going to give you 3 first-round picks. If a team like Washington comes and goes 3 first-round picks, if you're Chicago, you're sitting there going, well, why don't we take those picks, reload our young talent for cheap, and we keep Justin for 2 more years at $50 million total.
Okay, you can't do that. I'm simply saying, but really, I get your point. So from a business perspective, in terms of building a team, you're looking at it that way. All I'm saying is, if you're looking purely at what's the better option from a quarterback spot, because that's what you're looking to fulfill, it has to be Caleb Williams.
And plus, Jordan Love is on a different situation. This is his first year starting. Justin Fields has been a 3-year starter. So he done, okay, you think you're going to pick up my option? He's going to want to get money after the 3rd year heading into his 4th year.
SA, Shay, we got to go. More First Take after this very quick break.
Chào tất cả các bạn đã quay trở lại kênh YouTube của mình. Trên tay mình đây là bóng bay xanh. Để làm được sản phẩm này chúng ta cần chuẩn bị giấy thủ công, bút dạ, kéo cắt và hột dán. Bây giờ chúng ta bắt đầu nào.
Chào mừng nha, mình phải có bóng bay này. Mèo con tinh nghịch. bóng ra. Đây là bóng bay em người nha, đừng tưởng bóng khác, mệt lắm rồi. Đó, cắt này. Cái bóng này về nét nha. Ok, về không. Bay xanh. Rồi nha, ok.
Vẫn làm video game tiếp không? Phải đâu.
Không, em làm cắt dán mà. Thời gian.
Và là cái câu 1 xong tác phẩm này các bạn thấy đẹp và hãy cần xin được like và
Ok mọi người, video mình đây là kết thúc rồi nha. Xin cảm ơn tất cả mọi người đã xem video của mình. Và nếu cho mình hay, cho mình xin một like, một lượt đăng ký kênh của mình nhé.